Matthew, it says it like this. It says, if there's any one of you that's caught in the fault, ye who are spiritual, go restore such a one in the spirit of meekness and consider your own self.
Mm-hmm.
It's real easy to look over folk, and it's crazy to me that the text use the term impotent or invalid. Watch this. First of all, impotent means they lack power. They lack power. The other context is that impotent means that they are invalid. They are not valid members of society. They have nothing to offer to society. They are literally seen as a weight and a blight on the community. You have to understand the Hebrew context. First of all, sickness is the result of their belief of sin. Mm-hmm. Because you have sinned, you are in the current position. You remember a few weeks ago we talked about the blind man, and they asked Jesus, which one of these people sinned? Was it the man or his father that he was born blind? And he said, or his children, or his parents that he was born blind. He said, it's not any of that, but that the glory of Yah might be revealed. All right. Yeah. But they're in a situation and they're in a condition, and it may not be, or it may be their fault. There are certain things that happen to us, like in this situation, he had been impotent for 38 years, and we don't know if it was his fault or it wasn't his fault. But there are certain things that will happen to you, and I've told you this many times, that are not your fault, but they are your problem. Mm-hmm. See, it's not my fault, the generational curses that are in my family bloodline, but they are my problem. Mm-hmm. Divorce is something that everybody goes through in my generational bloodline. We have people who deal with anger and stress. Sexual immorality is a strong suit in my literal bloodline. I'm just telling you about myself. All right. But I don't want to go through any of those things. And it's not my fault that those things are in my bloodline. Mm-hmm. I'm told many times, especially when talking to men, it's important that you face your generational demons. Why? Because many times when we don't face those demons, we pass them on to our children to deal with 10 times stronger than they were in our generation. They're amplified by the time they get to the next generation because they weren't dealt with. And so something that you weren't even scheduled to deal with, something that is ancient and old, and something that has a wisdom on your family and the dynamics of your family and how it's structured, can be in a position to attack you because we don't address curses in our family. So 38 years of impotence. We don't know how old the man was. Mm-hmm. Perhaps he was only 38 years old. Perhaps maybe he had been a working man and he had a job all of his life and he got hurt on the job, and when he could no longer produce, he found himself going from the top of the line to the bottom of the barrel. Whatever his condition is, we know that whatever it is, he's been in this condition for a very, 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 very long time. 38 years. What made me have a connection, though, was this. Watch this. They call him invalid and impotent. In our context, we would call him helpless. He was helpless, which is crazy to me, because after 38 years, perhaps the reality is that when Jesus meets him in this time and in this place, when Jesus meets him, perhaps he has begun to believe that because of his condition, that he is now identified by his condition. He believes that he's impotent. He believes that he's invalid. He believes he's helpless, and perhaps he's had help before, but it wasn't the right kind of help. The hardest thing to get over is the wrong kind of help. See, because when you get the wrong kind of help, you can assume that because they could not help you, that you are helpless. There are people whose marriages have been struggling for 38 years, and they say you went to counseling, but you went to the wrong counselor. And because they didn't give you the word of God, because they didn't restructure and cause you to fall under the statutes and commandments, now you're getting information from the wrong person, and you literally believe your relationship is helpless, but it's because you got the wrong kind of help. Folks who think that they are helping you, you shouldn't do it like that. None of us have been successful. We weren't able. Don't ever let people think that because they couldn't do it, that it cannot be done.
Amen.
There are a lot of people who will see us in a 15,000 square foot building with 15, 20 people and say, listen, that should not be done. They told us when we were in the room when we weren't going to ever go nowhere. There are folk who are going to show up in this season that wouldn't show up in the last because they didn't ever think that we were going to get here.
Yeah. All right.
The people that if you don't call their name first, if you don't create a special seat when they come. Listen, these front seats are for the broken.
Yes.
I wish you would come in here. I'm glad for all of the pastors and all of the clergy and I'm glad for all of that. But there should always be a seat for the broken. If the pastor cannot sit by the broken, if the bishop cannot be sitting by the broken, he doesn't need to be in the sanctuary. Because this is a place where broken people find healing. And the problem is, when Jesus meets the man and have a conversation, he's not used to people even talking to him. People look over him. They don't have conversations. And so in 38 years, he's startled. And Jesus asked him a question. He doesn't ask him how he's doing. He doesn't ask him if he wants a sandwich. He asked him, wilt thou be made whole? Pause. Notice that in the text, Jesus never answers his question. He said, listen, I've been here 30 years. And I haven't been able to find anybody that'll help me get me to the pool. And he told him every reason. Jesus didn't ask him, did he want to get in the pool? He asked him if he wanted to be made whole. Perhaps the problem was he felt some indictment. Because he had been in the same position for 38 years. Because the Bible said when he saw him lying there, he knew he had been there for a great time.
Yeah.
Seemed like in 38 years, I would have inched my way every little bit up. How are you this far from the pool? And 38 years, you were that close to your miracle. 38 years, you were that close to your healing. 38 years, you were that close to your breakthrough, but you couldn't get access to it. And that's what many of us experience in church. I go to church all our lives. And I gotta tell you, church don't fix some stuff. Some stuff take the Ruach HaKodesh and take the Holy Ghost. There is no substitute. Church does not fix broken relationships. God does. Elohim, the Most High, does. Broken relationships get fixed when people submit themselves to the will of God and say, God, do it your way. Move like you want to move. Operate like you want to operate. If I'm wrong, I'm willing to deal with what that looks like. I'm willing to sit in your truth and let go of mine.
All right. Yes, sir.
I'm willing to be redefined the way you see things. I'm not willing that I will continue to have broken relationships because I know it's not your will. And perhaps that person is not worthy of you coming across the table to meet them. But let's be clear. I was a sinner. I was a wretch and undone. And Christ died for me. Messiah died for me while I was yet a sinner. And I was lost. Convoluted in my own blood. Messiah came, touched my life, and shifted my focus. 38 years in a position, perhaps he felt like it was an indictment. And so he began the regular conversation that most of us when we do when we're in an issue. He started to talk about his excuses and why he couldn't. And God never even asked him that. God asked him a question about what he had the faith to believe and to desire. The reality is that any prolonged suffering can take your faith. Anybody that struggled for a long time knows that there's a reality. Sometimes the struggle that you have when you've been struggling for a long time is just to believe that it's even possible to get a miracle, let alone to believe in miracles. He doesn't know how to deal with access. I deal with this all the time. I go to young men and young women in impoverished situations, and their mentality has so dropped that it's only about survival. So when I start talking to them about school, they can't even believe that it's possible that they can go back. Yeah, maybe they offer remedial classes in TCC. It's okay. I took a few. I'm a graduate. I got a degree. It's okay. You can go back through the process. The hardest thing is to believe your situation can change. I've counseled couples been married for years, and it's like, what this little boy gonna tell me? This little boy ain't gonna tell you nothing, but this Holy Ghost finna slap me right upside your head with the truth. Because I can tell you what God will do. I can show you how God will fix things.
Yes, sir.
I can testify that he'll turn it around. Because I've seen him do it. I've seen him do it. I've seen him do it so many times. So watch this, 38 years in a compromised position. You have to imagine that if this man has been laying for 38 years, he's in an uncomfortable position. He's not in a hospital bed. This is not a he is literally laying on brick floor. This is the area of 5 porches. If you see Israel, if you go to Jerusalem, you'll see it. There are 5 porches there. It's a different kind of space. He's laying on